Stop by and save at any location or log on anytime to teamautouse.com.
Happy Friday Eve.
Oh, that's right. Thursday.
It is.
Yeah, no
9:15 on a Thursday.
Yeah.
We're almost to Friday, y'all.
Oh my gosh. So welcome to it, everybody. That 9:15 WAFB Plus for 9 News Now. It is a Thursday. That is, it's kind of warm.
It is.
It's a little sticky.
Yeah.
Shed the suit jacket. I had to be careful with that one. Shed the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alliteration is very important. But it is one of those days, man. It feels like May.
Yeah, even you know, we talk about over and over how I like it,
Sure.
but even when I stepped out this morning, leaving the house early, you really felt it. And part of that was we didn't have nearly as much wind outside this morning as we had yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that wind, it does help, although yesterday was a little bit extreme.
It was a bit.
It's going to be much lower out there today. Still dealing with the clouds this morning. That's our Sky 9 camera view, brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Getting some grass cutting done, it looks like, out there on the levee out in Port Allen. All right, let's give you a look at what we've got happening around the area. If I get graphic advance, and bear with me 1 second. It's been a warm and humid start. 75 in Baton Rouge. Gonzales right now, 76 degrees. So we're in the low to mid 70s area wide, and going to be another very warm day. I've got low 80s by noon. Mid 80s for highs, 85, as I'll show you in a moment, that'd be within 1 degree of the record, and can't completely rule out a stray shower late this afternoon on into this evening.
Oops.
Liz.
Sorry, I was like, wait a minute. Where'd Steve go?
She's like, we've had enough of you, Steve. Bye.
No, here we go.
Are we done
He's
already?
here. He's here, I promise. I was just so excited.
You want
That's
to
it.
wrap?
And wrap it up, huh?
I know. This
No,
is the event.
right
Is
here.
Liz. Like normally in the morning we have producers in our ears.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're yelling
Yeah,
at
they're
me all
yelling
the
at us.
time.
Yeah.
I don't get yelled at
No.
usually during this show.
You're right.
Sorry.
Wrap it up.
Inaudible cues.
Doctor.
That was just the low key kind of
I
rap.
was
That
like,
was.
why did he stop talking?
That was. Just on the
We
slide.
love you, Steve.
Would you like me to keep going?
Yes,
please.
please
Are you
do.
sure?
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep going. All right, so we'll show you here in a moment. 85 would be within a degree of the record high this afternoon. I don't know why my graphics keep stopping on me here. Let's see. All right, here's a look at future radar now. You can see that we advance it through noon, a mix of sun and clouds. This is going to be a key on whether we're getting record highs today right on through Sunday. How much sun do we see? If we get, you know, a good couple of hours of sunshine, we could easily hit these records. If it stays closer to overcast like we have right now, still going to be warm, just maybe a little bit shy of those records. 3 o'clock, you still see kind of that mix of sun and clouds. And then late this afternoon, this evening, hints of a shower or two, mostly near north of the interstates. It is a very slim chance of rain. So here's a look at those record highs. Today's record, 86. It was set only a year ago, and I'm going 85. Tomorrow, I've got us potentially tying the record at 85. That one was also set a year ago. Saturday, showing a forecast that would break the record high, and Sunday potentially tying it again. So between now and Sunday, any of these days, we're going to be right around the record highs, if not tying or setting new record highs. Big part of that is a big dome of high pressure extends from the western Atlantic across the Gulf of Mexico. It's an unusually strong area high pressure for late February. That's why it's so warm underneath it. Elsewhere, there's been quite a bit of snow coming down across the upper Midwest, down to the Great Lakes with a storm system there. But notice out to our west, you just don't see much. Remember, this time of year, our weather comes in from the west. So if you don't see much out to our west, a good indication it's going to stay relatively quiet. So kind of status quo today right on into the weekend. That would be warm, mainly dry weather. Highs in the mid 80s. Monday, we do get a weak cold front in with a slight chance of showers, and it is a weak front. Not going to do a whole lot for temperatures. The main change will be a couple of mornings in the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday, but notice highs don't really change a whole lot. Could get another cold front in here toward the end of next week with a few showers, and then maybe a bit of a modest cool down into that following weekend. Liz, I am now officially done.
I know, I'm trying to figure
You
out
can
ways
have
to
it.
give you more airtime, Steve.
Stop.
Hey,
I
about
got
that.
the message.
Sorry about it, Steve.
I will go shorter from now on.
more of the good
You've
doctor.
been hanging out
Yes.
with the producers, I see.
I know.
Giant hook.
They said, look, yeah, it's time. It's time.
Cap, thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, folks, so as you kind of get ready for what's outdoors waiting for you as you step out, this was waiting for a lot of folks this morning. Maybe you actually laid down last night and heard about this. A shooting that touches us in our profession in a very specific way, but it's not just one life lost, that reporter's life, it's 3 lives taken.
This story is complicated and it is
very
heavy because as journalists you never want to become the story, but inevitably a reporter and a photographer were going out covering an initial shooting, the first of 3 that day involving the same alleged shooter here. Well, it turns out 5 hours later the reporter and photographer go back to the scene as journalists normally do as they cover the story. That shooter ends up coming back to the scene there, firing on the reporter, on the photographer, ends up going to another person's home, shooting a mother and a 9-year-old. A 9-year-old
girl. And so now what that has led to is 3 deaths.
Yes.
The initial victim, a woman in her 20s that the detectives say this person shot while she was sitting in her car. The reporter has now has died. Photojournalist, critical condition as well, but said to be doing okay, but in critical condition. And then that 9-year-old dead, the mother in critical condition as well. But just this morning, this is a station just outside of Orlando, Spectrum 13 there, identifying the reporter killed, Lyons. And you can jump on, you can read his bio and see where he's been, and some of the things that he's talked about and covered, and you can just look at this face and see how young he is, just getting started, right? Just getting started in this, couple jobs, and all he wants to do is tell his community stories, which at the end of the day, just community servants, tell his community stories. And even in the hard stories, try to keep them safe. Even in those bad stories, let them know what's going on, and now he's gone.
24 years old is how old Dylan Lyons was. His fiance putting out a GoFundMe link to kind of make arrangements for their family. They've already figured out when they're doing his funeral, March 10th. These are the kinds of things that not only Dylan, but the other victims are dealing with, but our hearts are certainly with their newsroom, thinking about all the victims in this awful tragedy. But you never go to work thinking that this is how the day is going to end.
Correct. So the investigation is continuing. Obviously, right now, that arrest, as Liz mentioned, has been made. The motive here for an initial shooting, perhaps still working on that, was the motive, and the other shootings just he was there. We'll see. Again, that's just getting going. Good gracious.
It's hard to follow.
Okay, from that to, actually, unfortunately, another death. Coroner called to the scene here in Baton Rouge, a traffic crash.
Yeah, Johnny Asian was following this traffic alert. Started probably between 5:30 and 6 o'clock this morning. He was following on a traffic camera. He just noticed a lot of congestion on Florida Boulevard near Monterey and Oak Villa. And then further on in the morning, we learned that this was actually a vehicle crash involving a death. The coroner called out to the scene. We're still unsure of the identity of that person or how this really came to be. We just know that this caused traffic backup. So if you were one of the many people stuck in that Florida Boulevard traffic, this is probably why.
This is one of those spots, again, Florida, period, anywhere in Baton Rouge is going to be, congested on a good day. And it's, in this particular part of the world, Monterey, that's just the northern part of, for instance, Broadmoor, and that's where a lot of folks jump out of Broadmoor. It's just south of what is now the new Amazon facility. So that's that part of the world. It's all clear this morning, waiting for the update, working to get that now from investigators about exactly what happened.
Exactly. Once we know, and we'll let you pass along that as well. But remember, this is sensitive here. When we talk about a death, the family needs to be notified. A lot of things need to happen before we can share that information with you.
Yeah, and a lot of times there is that unofficially the name's out there, but it's not anything that we're ever going to pass along before we get the official word, even though we may be sitting on the name. We need to make sure that families, as mentioned, notified first.
That's the goal.
Okay. It's a lot of heavy right there. So let's do a little bit of this. This is still heavy. I mean, ridiculously heavy. But the ability to maybe do some good, right? And it's hard to. How can I help in this kind of a situation? When we're talking about earthquakes in Turkey and impacting Syria, how can I help? There's a good way.
South Louisiana shines in a lot of ways, and unfortunately, it's crisis response. We know how to help people, and this is one of your opportunities to help the folks over there in Turkey and in Syria. If you're watching these heartbreaking images of children and pets and adults being pulled out of the rubble, well, there are many survivors here still, miraculously. All of those people need somewhere to sleep. So Southern University, their Center for Intercultural Affairs, I believe, is asking for winter blankets, winter tents, and sleeping bags. We're not talking about the summer kind, the thick kinds that'll keep you warm, kind of in tundra-like weather.
And that's what they're dealing with right now. You've seen the video coming out of there, and they're dealing with their winter. This is not like our winter down here. It's real winter. And a lot of these folks don't have just the basic necessities of not just housing, but of life.
Yeah.
And so your donations could literally save lives. What they're asking you to do is donate some of those things that Liz just talked about, gift cards even as
Yes,
well. They
yeah.
can be on the way. Out to the J.S. Clark Administration Annex building. You have until 3 o'clock this afternoon, so still a little bit of time. But this is how we can best impact a situation that seems really out of our grasp. This is how we're able to do it.
Easy ways to get involved. Maybe do a run to the local store, Academy, Dick's, Walmart, pick up a couple things and drop it off before that 3 o'clock deadline. They will take care of sending it over to make sure those survivors there have these items, these concrete items to call their own for a little bit.
You're right. Okay, that's going on today. This is actually going on today as well. I could always use a little wellness check when it comes to my finances. And this is going to be an opportunity. It's for a very specific group, though, this evening.
Are you thinking about becoming a small business owner, maybe an entrepreneur of any sorts, but you're kind of overwhelmed with where to start? How do I secure the finances? Where do I get a loan? What do I need to start? Well, there's a one-stop shop for you to take care of some of that stuff today.
Right. So it's being put on by Pelican State Credit Union, hosted by the Bluebonnet Branch Library. You know what that is, EBR Bluebonnet Branch Library, conveniently located on Bluebonnet Boulevard. So what they're doing is today that's happening, doors open at 5:30, presentation begins at 6 o'clock. So yeah, if you think if this is maybe now the time to step out and this is what you want to do, but like Liz mentioned, I don't really know. I don't even know how to have a conversation with a bank.
I mean, yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
This may be the way to go.
Free resource. Go check it out.
Yep.
And share the word too.
There it is.
We had a moment this morning.
A lot of us had moments.
Yes, we did.
This morning. And so Callie Hubbard was live this morning with all the moments. One of the great crawfish spots, and there's a ton of them. We've all got our favorites. But I'm actually going to go check out. I've not been to this particular spot. I'm going.
Listen, I haven't been either. I just passed by it because I washed my car in the little self-service car wash. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, where Sprouts Market is there on Perkins. So think, okay, you're at the intersection of Perkins and College, where College turns into Lee. Yeah. And then you go a little bit further, you see the Sprouts Market on the right, you see Glasgow Middle on the right. Across the way, there's a little crawfish shop called Berthelot's Crawfish. That's where Callie was this morning. And I can say, collectively, I think 9 News this morning was pinching the tails and sucking the heads.
I did. And we had crawfish.
Yes, we did.
And so it was fantastic. Actually, I had a few this morning.
Yeah, they were good.
It was like, and here's the thing, I didn't know how seasoned they were going to be, and I'm a big fan of hot. I mean, I grew up on.
And Matt cooks too.
I do. I mean, I didn't know. So initial pinch and sucked the head, and that was my first try. Like I hadn't warmed everything up.
Yeah.
And the spices from the head right into the back of my throat, and it was just one of those. There's some stuff in there. Yeah. And it was so good. And look, the meat was fantastic. So anyway, one of those spots. If you've not tried them, go ahead and try them. Try all the crawfish spots in South Louisiana. It's just beginning.
Oh, crawfish season is here.
Oh, I can't wait.
We're so stoked.
I know.
We are so stoked.
One of the best times.
Oh.
One of the best times.
And we're going to keep talking about that throughout crawfish season here on WAFB Plus, especially when we hear about those prices. We're always going to keep an eye on the fluctuating prices.
That's right.
I tell you what, Matt and Steve, actually, those crawfish that we saw today from Berthelot, they were pretty sizable. They were a decent size. Did you try any today, Steve?
I did. Yeah.
So you pinched the tail and sucked the head?
She's doing that to everybody. She's doing that to everybody.
It's like Ash Wednesday. I mean,
blow your ash
come
right
on.
off.
It's an appropriate time to talk. We're kicking off the season.
Is FCC there? Okay, no, we're streaming.
Yes.
We're good. But no, I can't wait. The prices are going to start to come down a little bit more, and the bayou is. I mean, the basin's going to start producing. The farms, they're all. I mean, the malt's going to be perfect. I'm excited. I'm ready for this crawfish.
Yeah, I think some of the cold weather we had back around Christmas kind of led to a slow start, and obviously it started warming up. So
yeah. It's literally summer.
Good on the farmers.
It's always a delicate balance though, because you hear about too much rain, not enough rain, the temperatures. And I don't know what that sweet spot is, but hopefully we're finding it.
Our farmers need to do well,
like
so wishing the best for them this season.
Okay, so it was crawfish this morning.
Yes.
Apparently, there are other food items on the menu today that need to be.
Well, I suppose we must celebrate.
It is Crawfish Day all the time down here in crawfish season, but I did not know that today was National Chili Day.
Oh, I didn't either. All right.
It's going to be 85 degrees.
That's perfect day for chili.
Oh, stop. Now, look, I am one of those who will eat gumbo at 100-degree weather.
I'm with you.
Anytime.
Yes.
But I don't know that, because it's just gumbo, I don't know that I could do chili on a hot day.
Because it's spicy, that sits with you, you know?
I
so you're
don't
just
know.
sweating all day.
Well, it's just
Eat
like
it.
when it's cold outside and you
Yeah.
get that hot bowl of gumbo or chili
it
or
does
something.
make it better.
Yeah, it's just
You're right.
comforting. It
Yes.
feels right.
You're right. It
Yeah,
does.
on a day like today.
Can I get a cold
On
bowl
an
of chili,
85-degree
please?
winter day.
Well, it's the National Day Calendar website. They kind of put all these days together, right? According to them, and I may get emails from history buffs, American settlers would make chili by pounding ingredients together to form dry bricks, which then they would boil in pots while they were out there on the trails. There you go. Chili was born.
Well, you
I
know,
do like me some chili.
Wow.
I'm a fan.
What goes along good with chili?
Yeah.
Well, this kind of goes along great with anything. The great, I guess, international staple, toast. Toast goes
Just
with
like toast?
just
Okay.
about anything. Well, let me show you some video of actual. There we go.
Does toast really deserve its own day?
I didn't think so.
Don't believe so.
But clearly
You're
there are
right.
people who
You're
feel
right.
strongly enough to lobby for a National Toast Day.
Toast.
So we're going to butter it up and call it a national holiday.
Toast.
Yeah.
When I saw toast on the sheet, Liz, my mind went somewhere else. You know, we had National Margarita Day yesterday.
Oh.
Raise a glass.
Yes.
And toast.
National.
Well, not toast.
Maybe we have it wrong, but according to the calendar, the national holiday calendar,
Maybe it's actually
maybe they
raise a
got it
glass and
wrong.
We'll just declare it.
National Have a Toast Day.
Yes.
I like that better, Steve. Let's reclaim the holiday and toast with whatever type of drink there is. Isn't that a crew? The toast
Crew of toast.
crew of toast, or is it?
Oh, Toth
Oh,
in New Orleans.
it's
TH.
toast.
T-O-T-H, yes.
Oh, T-O-T-H.
T-H-O-T-H.
I thought it was
yes.
toast. Toast
This
this whole
is like
time.
her with the song there.
It's toast? I would not
Yes.
guess that based on how it's spelled.
Who doesn't love the crew of toast?
I mean, how good does that sound?
What do they throw?
Come on.
I imagine.
Toast?
I imagine.
Crunchy
Yes.
toast?
Right,
And you
just
have a toast to the crew of toast.
loaves of
toast,
bread.
Toast. Oh, man. I I got to get my
Be
Louisiana
careful, or
together.
You're going to be the topic of one of the floats next year.
I
I
just
think we
am
just
just
found
you
our
wait.
Baton Rouge Mardi Gras Day parade. Crew of toast.
Crew of toast. I love it. And I'm
you
on
go.
board. I'm very on board for that. All right.
Okay.
All right, so a little bit of silliness with the food. Let's give you
Yes.
something to smile about,
Oh.
though, that we can all rally behind. This is a cheer team in Iowa that made history by winning their first competition. Why? Because they are from the School of the Deaf up there.
Wow.
They use the beat of the music to help them with their routines, which is just awesome. You look at this. The ISD cheer team hopes they can serve as an inspiration to others with disabilities, and of course, proving that their hard work can pay off.
Were
That's
they just throwing like
huge.
little aerials?
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yes.
Look at that. And you imagine something like cheer or dance, you are relying on music, right? Those audible cues to
Yeah.
hit the mark, hit the points, you know where you're going, but when you're following the beat of something, that is, you were listening
Feeling
for
those
something.
vibrations.
Yeah, that is just incredible. First place, ISD. That's just incredible. Congratulations. I love that.
I've never been that good at anything, like in my life.
What?
To have that kind of, I mean, that is next level. To be
Yeah.
able to do that, confidence with it, and just, that's.
And the coordination that comes
That's
with that too.
amazing.
I tell you what, cheerleading is a team sport, and they all do work together to make that happen. That's really beautiful to see.
Okay, on this National Chili and Toast Day, where crawfish is also on the menu, enjoy 85 degrees. I mean, what in the world, man? It's winter.
Watch, I'm going to go home and make some chili
Yeah,
later.
let's see it, do it.
But yeah, we're going to keep it warm right up through the weekend. As we talk on National Chili Day, could be a record high. Record highs possible into the weekend, and not a whole lot cooler even next week.
I'll still take it.
The seductive styling of the 2022 Mazda CX-9 elevates your idea of what a three-row CUV can be.
Get 0% financing on a new Mazda CX-9 at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.